Hello, everyone. Happy Motivational Monday. This is Kira, your host, and I'm so excited for today's conversation. I am tuning in from the beautiful island of Puerto Rico, and drop 111 in the chat if you would like to see my view. I may or may not be overlooking the Caribbean right now. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I'm really happy to be here. I love Motivational Monday. I love that we get this time to be together. Cool. Like, no one wants to see where I am. Thanks, Patty. Thanks, Kimberly. So this is where I am currently. There's the Caribbean. Yay. This is the part of the island that my family is originally from. I am half Puerto Rican, so I'm here with family, and it's a wonderful place to be. So today, I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it sweet. The Wi-Fi has been a little, I mean, Puerto Rico is not known for its Wi-Fi, so it is what it is. So I'll be keeping it a little bit shorter and a little bit sweeter. We might be tapping out at around like 10 to 12 minutes. So again, Motivational Monday is supposed to be short and sweet. And my family is from Rincon specifically, both sides of my Puerto Rican family. So it's the surfing capital of the island. I may have learned how to surf this week. I've been drinking juice and eating fruit and hanging out with family, and it's just been really, really, really sweet. You know, have you guys ever been to a place? Drop 222 in the chat and then we'll get started. Have you ever been to a place where you've arrived and you've been like, this feels like home? That's how I feel here. I've only had that feeling twice in my life. In Italy, I'm half Italian, and in Puerto Rico, I'm half Puerto Rican. I love that, Chris. That's so funny. Yeah, literally in Rincon. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So I'm really excited for this conversation. We're going to be talking about productivity hacks, and I actually just recorded a recording of the session because I wasn't sure how the Wi-Fi quality of this was going to be. Also, the link to our recording of last week that was supposed to be in the email never got put into the email. Maybe I was traveling, maybe things happened. I don't know, but I can drop that in the chat in a little bit as well, so that you have access to that and so that you can see the recording of last week if you weren't able to be there. And for those of you who are new to LifeGuides, drop 333 in the chat if this is your first experience ever with LifeGuides being on this Motivational Monday right now. And drop 444 in the chat if you're familiar with us and what we do. And so many newbies. Oh my gosh. Welcome. Okay. Well, let me give you a little bit of a breakdown on what what LifeGuides is, and then we'll dive into some productivity hacks. This will be like a 60-second thing. But basically, what happened is your employer purchased LifeGuides as a benefit for you to use, and it is a phenomenal benefit. It's basically the Airbnb for support. So basically, you select out of 12 main categories of support that you're looking for, whether it's emotional well-being or accountability, or maybe you're a caregiver to a parent or a family member, and that takes a lot out of you. And then it gets into some even deeper categories. And then it filters through and it shows you guides, real people who have been through real experiences just like you, who can help you navigate them. So it's not a therapist, it's not a friend, it's just someone who's been there and who has gone through a journey, and they get to help you go through yours. And people like this, I like to call them time capsules, because you're taking someone who's already lived what you're living through and has learned invaluable lessons, and they get to help you navigate it so that the lessons that they learned, you just get to learn from them without going through them yourself, which is so amazing and supportive. I have two guides. I adore them. When they're not available or when I'm not available, I feel the difference in my life. And we are social species. We're meant to be so much more connected than we actually are. Like, I love that there's the ability to connect with you here, but like, I would rather be in a room and be able to look you in your eyes and talk to you. But it's 2024. It's almost 2025. So this is what we do. But there are times and places where we need more help and more support than ever before. And LifeGuides is there to help you. So if you haven't registered for LifeGuides, and if you haven't looked at the guides, and if you haven't gone through and seen who we are and what we're about, our link, oh, hold on. Let me try this one more time. Our link, I'm dropping it in the chat now. You can register right there. And if you have any problems, the well-being concierge, there's a little chat box and you can just chat them and they'll be able to take care of that for you. But it's a great service and I would highly recommend using it. And then beyond that, we do these virtual events. So I host every Motivational Monday until the end of the year. And then we'll be looking at what season 2 looks like, if you all would like me back for season 2, that is. And I have ideas. I got things I want to do. So we'll see. But we're going to be talking about productivity today, but hopefully you think about it throughout your week, because Motivational Monday is set for you to be able to create a space within yourself where I have these conversations with you, and then you think about them and you ponder them and you start putting things into action. And sometimes the action of just knowing that there's a different way is more than enough. I've had wisdom imparted on me that didn't come alive until like 5 years later, but it was in my mind and I was thinking about it. And then sometimes it's like someone says something and I'm like, bam, that's the answer to everything I ever needed, putting it into place right now. So it depends on where you're at and how it hits you and the way that you want to take these things as you continue to grow. With productivity, I felt like I really wanted to go through the way that I structure my day best for productivity, because there are productivity hacks in regards to doing the task that you're actually doing. But then there are productivity hacks in regards to how do you set up your whole entire life to be more productive. And that's the way that I work. I'm a very like whole picture kind of person. So with that, it was important for me to be able to be here and be like, okay, how have I found productivity and how have I helped people find productivity throughout their lives? The first thing that I do, drop 555 in the chat if you have a morning routine that you feel is really healthy. Okay, beautiful. So many people with healthy habits. Cool. Okay. First step, get a healthy morning routine. One of the things that happens when you wake up is the brain waves when you're sleeping are very, very slow, which means that you're very receptive. You're not outputting information, you're not taking things in, you're just in this very receptive, very open state. That's why the dream world is so dreamy, right? So when you first wake up, you're still in this very receptive state. And if you're the type of person, and drop 777 in the chat if that's you, if you're the type of person who goes on your phone as soon as you wake up, what is happening is you become no longer in control of your day. And there's no judgment. Trust me, even on this vacation, I wake up and look straight at my phone because I don't have my habits that I normally have at home. And things are different, but whatever, that's besides the point. When you wake up and you're scrolling and you're looking on your phone, what's happening is you are no longer in control of your energy and you are no longer in control of the way that your day is going to unfold based on how receptive your brain is in the morning. You're taking in information, and this sets the tone for your entire day. Because what happens is on our phones, we're not in control of the information that we see, whether it's through our emails or our text messages or our phone calls or the social media. So for me, the way that my morning habit for productivity works is my phone is in my bathroom. I set my alarm for 5:55. I wake up and it's in the bathroom. So I need to wake up and get out of my bed and then get to my phone so I can't snooze it. Also, my phone is on airplane mode when I go to bed. And for like parents, I know that that's not reasonable. For caregivers, I know that that's not reasonable. You're going to have to find what works for you. This is just what works for me. My phone's on airplane mode all throughout the night and through the first like half hour to hour of my morning. The reason why is because if it's not on airplane mode, the second that I turn off my alarm, I will see the notifications and I will start scrolling and I will no longer be in control of what's happening in my world. So being in control and having my phone on airplane mode and not scrolling, what happens is I get to choose. I journal first thing in the morning. I don't know if any of you have read The Artist's Way. Drop 888 in the chat if you've read The Artist's Way. It's about creativity and just like letting all of your mind thoughts out and just like clearing everything. You write 3 pages of just whatever's in your mind, all just you let it out. It doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes I'm literally journaling and my first sentences are like, I don't know what to write. I'm so tired. I can't believe I'm awake right now. Should I go to the gym? I don't want to go to the gym, but I would love to go to the gym because it's good for me. And I'm just like letting it all out. So I do that. And then usually I'll meditate or do yoga or do breath work or something along those lines and get myself in the right state of mind so that I can have my internal world can just be peaceful and easeful throughout the day. And I got to choose that energy because I chose how I woke up and I chose what I put into myself. So that's how I start my morning. I usually go to the gym right after as well. Going to the gym in the morning for me shows me that I'm a woman of action and that I take action towards the things that I want and that I put in action towards my long-term goals and that I know what I want and I know how to get it. That's what going to the gym does for me. And this is my current routine. Back when I was super into yoga and had more accessibility to it, I was going to yoga at 7:30 in the morning. And that was bringing me more peace, and that was bringing me a little bit more resilience. So your life is going to fluctuate and change. However, I always want you to think about how things are making you feel and how things are supporting you. So that's my morning routine from about 5:55 to 9:30. That's how I set myself up to just be productive in my mindset before I even have to produce anything throughout my day. Now, when I'm working, I've got 3 productivity hacks. One that is a productivity hack throughout your entire week. Actually, 2 that are productivity hacks throughout your entire week. And then 1 that is a productivity hack for literally doing the task that you are determined to do throughout the day. So I'll tell you guys the week ones, the way that I set up, and then I'll tell you guys about the singular one. So a couple of things that I do is on Sundays, and I don't do this every Sunday. If I did it every Sunday, I would be more productive, right? My most productive weeks, I sit down on Sunday and I just brain dump. I literally write brain dump on the piece of paper and I write down everything I have to do that week. And usually it's like 15 to 20 things. I'm like, I have to do all of this, but my brain likes to think that I have to do it all on Monday. So what I do is I'm just brain dumping, I'm writing, I'm thinking, I'm just whatever needs to get done, it gets out on this piece of paper. And then I have my planner. I have a physical planner. As much as I love having a planner on my phone, for me, it is really important to have, there's so many distractions on this little thing, right? This is meant to distract us and keep us on it. So having a paper planner, I get to look at my week. I take everything that's in my digital planner and I transcribe it onto my paper planner. And then I have this brain dump. And what I do is I look at my week, and usually Mondays and Tuesdays, maybe Wednesdays are my busiest days of the week. So I'll put I give myself my top 3 tasks for the day, additional things outside of work and life things that I do every day. And I'll write them in for Monday, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll do the easier ones Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I already have a lot going on and those are just full days and I know that they're taking a lot out of me. I'll do the ones that take a little bit more on Thursday and Friday, maybe Saturday if I'm feeling really productive that week. And I just give myself 3 tasks per day. And I put them in my planner, and I also put them in my digital planner at all day events as well. So all day I see it as a notification so that I have more reminders in my brain of what to do. I also write down how much time each task is going to take. And if I have a bigger task, this is kind of the one that I do. This is like my habit for productivity that I do throughout the day, not as much weekly, but I also do it weekly. Every task that I do, if it's a big task that I feel like it's going to take 4 hours, I will break it down into like 10, 15, 20-minute chunks. And I write down how long everything is going to take, because if I have a long to-do list, I'll get really overwhelmed by it thinking that it's so much. But if I break it down and I'm like, oh, I don't know, wiping down my counter is only going to take 5 minutes, I'll write 5 minutes. And then I total it up. I'm like, oh, it's only 3 hours of work. That's so much better than just this big overwhelming list. So I give myself time limits and how long I think it's going to take for me to do those things. And then I will set a timer on my phone. I don't know. Are you guys procrastinators? Drop 999 in the chat if you have or have had a habit of procrastinating. I like that feeling of like beating a clock. I'm like such an adrenaline person that I need adrenaline to get things done. So instead of waiting until the last minute to get that feeling, I set a timer for how long I think that task is going to take. And it gives me that same feeling, especially when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm only 25% through this task, but I'm 50% through my time. I got to get the things done. And it literally forces me to flash focus on the thing that I have to do. And I get it done. And it's amazing. And it's so much better that way. So that's how I focus on my days in productivity. If I've got things to do, it has how much time. And that's so funny, Paul. It has how much time it's actually going to take, and there's a timer getting done for it. A lot of times I'll throw my phone in the other room. You can buy a timer for your desk on Amazon. It's like $15 and it's amazing. And you don't have to use your phone for it. The less you can use your phone for things, the more productive you're going to be. I can guarantee you that. This was not built for your productivity. It's got great productivity tools, but at its core, it's built for you to continue using it over and over and over. And I will use this baby all day if I can. So I'm like, oh, let me get a little timer. Let me literally throw my phone away for the day and start getting some things done. And then also the last thing as we start to close this out, having a nighttime routine is really important too. Drop 111 in the chat if you have a nighttime routine. That one's the hardest for me, having a nighttime routine. When I do have a nighttime routine, I have this setting on my phone, and it's an iPhone thing. I don't know if it's an Android thing, it's an iPhone thing. Cool, only one person has a nighttime routine. Exactly. We are setting ourselves up for our next day at night. So having a nighttime routine is so important, and it can be easy. Mine's very simple. In the phone, on an iPhone, under screen time, there's something called downtime. During downtime, you're literally setting, right? That's what I have set. Cool. So I have my downtime set every single day from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. It shuts off all of my apps. If I want to touch an app, it's letting me know that it's restricted, and I can unrestrict it for 1 minute, 15 minutes, or the entire day. I never unrestrict it for the entire day, but sometimes I'm like texting people or looking up things or whatever. But ideally, my phone would be off and in the bathroom by like 9:30. It would be on airplane mode. It would be good to go. I would get into bed. My dogs would get into bed with me. I would either read or journal, and I would go to bed. I'm the type of person, drop 222 in the chat if you're the same type of person. I'm the type of person who, when I get into bed, I'm usually not ready for bed. My body literally needs to just decompress. So getting into bed and reading a book and starting to reset is really important to me. I know that if I want to be up at 5:55, then I need to be in bed by 10:30. So if I put my phone on airplane mode between 9 and 9:30, and if I'm in bed for half an hour to an hour before it's time for me to go to bed, then by the time that time comes, I'm already starting to have melatonin producing in my body. If you are having blue lights in your eyes right before bed, that signals your body not to produce melatonin. And melatonin is what makes us sleep. So if you guys are doom scrolling at night to fall asleep, you're falling asleep because of pure exhaustion. You're not falling asleep because of true sleep being ready in your body. And that's a whole entire different conversation that we will talk about hormones during Motivational Monday, and we will talk about like other health and wellness things. I'm super into health and wellness. It's my pride and joy. I feel like I want to give you foundational things to work with before we start getting into a little bit of more nuanced things. And maybe that's season 2. I have no idea. Maybe we get more spiritual. Who knows? So many things. But that's my day and my week and how I set myself up for productivity. And those are my productivity hacks for you. You want to know what's crazy? I don't know if you guys saw my email today, but goldfish have a higher attention span than we do by 1 second. A goldfish's attention span is 9 seconds. Human beings' attention spans, 8 whole seconds. And I know that we can change that through things like breathwork, yoga, meditation, visualization, things along those lines. But as a baseline, like we've been conditioned into really being so distractible. And how we get towards productivity is we start to remove distractions and we get ourselves focused on what we're looking to do. If I do this, I won't be able to do Wordle in the middle of the night when I wake up. Don't judge me. The things that my brain wants to do in the middle, like the fact that I've had my phone next to me while I'm sleeping on vacation, I'm like, what am I scrolling for at 3 o'clock in the morning? What is happening? Okay, well, that's it for Motivational Monday. I hope you guys have the most amazing week ever. And I do want to give you guys the link for all things LifeGuides. This is our link tree. You can find recordings to our previous sessions. You can find access to our financial well-being series. Everything's there. You can also book your call with a guide from that link as well, because that's the juice of what we do. If you think this is a wonderful conversation, imagine having one-on-one support and one-on-one guidance. So it's been a pleasure and a joy. I hope the video and audio quality has been great for you. I'm gonna go to the beach now. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you next week. If you need anything, we're here for you. But until then, start pondering the ways that you can be more productive. And next week, we are going to be talking about emotions. Bye, everyone. Talk to you soon.